How you doing, Mark Rosetta here. I've got Jason Blair from NZIPP President.
That's
President.
Me. That's me.
Look at that face. That's a presidential face right there.
I haven't got my chains, sorry.
Haven't got your chains.
Yeah.
You're not even wearing shoes. You're wearing thongs, but that's another conversation. Jace, why are you the president? Why do you believe in the NZIPP? Why did you put your hand up?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
It's a loaded question,
That's
isn't it?
the easy answer is that I've got a rubber arm and it was twisted.
Yeah.
But the kind of deeper answer, I think, for me is that I've been involved in the NZIPP for a long time.
Yeah.
My whole career as a photographer, I have been a member, and I've been coming to conferences almost every year. And
how long's that been as a member?
Tough question. Maybe between 15 and 20 years.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
It's a real long time.
Hence the grey in the hair and the grey in the beard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's time flies when you're having fun, though.
Yeah.
And it's been integral to my development and career as a photographer to have the network of support, the advice, the mentorship, and the community of the NZIPP.
But why? I can do that. I can get support online. I can go to a Facebook group, an Instagram chat, and get my ego stroked from lots of people. Like, why bother?
I don't necessarily disagree, and I don't think that. I think that everyone finds a different community, and the advent of the internet means that everyone can find their community somewhere. There is a community for everybody.
Absolutely.
But I also believe that there is something that you get from a physical, in-person relationship that you can't replicate
online.
And so there's two things. One, every year we get together in the same physical space and we talk and we share those social times and the formal education parts of it, and all of the different pieces of the annual conference. And then throughout the year, I know that in just about any town in this country, I know a photographer.
Yeah.
So if I have a disaster with my gear, if I get stuck for accommodation, if I just want to catch up and have a beer with someone, just about wherever I am, there's another photographer there, and they know who I am, I know who they are. Even if we don't have a real strong connection, we'll make one because we have this thing in common and we are there for each other, and that's really powerful. And I don't think a lot of industries have that level of camaraderie.
No.
With who are ostensibly our competitors. And I think that's really valuable.
Absolutely. And I don't think you could, and I also think that for those people online who are watching this or don't have this community, you just don't know what you don't know.
No.
People don't realize how awesome it is to sit together with 50, 100, 200 people, learn together, spend 3 days hanging out, going out and it's not, sometimes the best parts are not in a class. Sometimes the best part is around the barbecue that we're about to have now, having a beer, going out for lunch.
Dinner, or like it's making a new friend, or ending up at a table with a bunch of photographers you've never met, half of them from Australia or from another part of the country, and finding out how much you have in common. And this is actually another thing that I think is underappreciated or hard to put a finger on or hard to understand until you experience it. It's the things you don't have in common. It's hanging out with photographers who do completely different work from you and work in completely different spaces. You have enough in common because you both know how to drive a camera, you're both image makers, but the way and the context in which you do it is so different, and that's really, really, really powerful. And it's hard to get that because the thing about an online community often is that there are so many people, you naturally filter down to the people who seem the most relevant to you, and you filter out potential cross-pollination opportunities. You filter out people who could introduce something different to you because you end up with quite homogenous groups because naturally you have to, because otherwise how would you can't just interact with everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love going into weird workshops and classes of like astrophotography that obviously I would never be exposed to, or Amber Griffin's the dance photography and seeing how she works, and it's like, never knew that was a thing.
So those are the most memorable.
Makes more sense.
Those are the most memorable things, and I tell people constantly, like, yes, go to the thing that you specialize in when there's a keynote speaker about, obviously, but make sure you don't neglect the opportunity to learn, to find something really different.
Cool.
Really push yourself.
Awesome. Very cool. One last question for you.
Far away.
How long's it been? How many years since you've been a photographer?
20 years, let's say.
20 years. What would Jase today go back and tell Jase 20 years ago and go, hey, I've seen the future. I know what happens. I need to tell you something. This is what's going to happen. This is what you need to know before you kick off your photography career. That's a deep question, isn't it?
There's so much. Obviously, I would have a lot to tell myself. And much of it would be dumb, mundane, ordinary stuff. That it just took me a long time to catch on to as a young photographer. But I think the process of learning, like someone can tell you those things and you don't. You have to learn them the hard way, kind of. You have to. You learn them a lot more deeply by experiencing them. But the thing that I think, and this is kind of a cliched answer that I've heard from people about this question, is more just like back yourself. Back yourself and push yourself and know that even if your taste constantly outstrips your capabilities, it doesn't mean you're shit.
That's awesome.
I think that's the best one.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Back yourself.
Back yourself. Cool. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Talk soon.
See you guys. Bye.